Hello, everyone, and welcome to Attract Your Ideal Weight show with your host, Zaheen Nanji. I'm so excited, and I'm also sad. But I'm excited. Well, let's kind of go with the sad part first. Well, I'm kind of sad because this is episode number 10, and it's going to be my last episode with the Attract Your Ideal Weight brand. But no worries, because I have completely rebranded my whole website, and my brand is now called the Resilience Reflex with Zaheen Nanji. And I am doing hangouts on there as well, so I encourage you to, if you do want to learn more about how to make resilience your first reflex in any area of your life, then follow me on my Google page, Resilience Reflex with Zaheen Nanji, or my community, Resilience Reflex with Zaheen Nanji. So that's why I'm sad, because Attract Your Ideal Weight will be under the umbrella of Resilience Reflex. And with my guest today, Jackie, she has been working with me for the last few weeks, where we have been having hangouts on how to build your resilient health. So in fact, on Tuesday, we will be talking about how to overcome self-sabotage, which is a huge subject out there. And I'm sure that you want to know more about that. So on Tuesday at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, that's correct, right, Jackie? Is it 7 p.m. or 6 p.m.? 7, right?
7.
Yes, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so that's 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be talking about how to overcome self-sabotage. And I'll have Jackie as well as Renee Stevens, who is the author of Fulfilled. Okay, so without further ado, I know why you're here today, because you want to know more about how to overcome or what steps to take to overcome food addictions, which is a huge issue right now. I have clients too that come into me and they'll use words like, I'm addicted to chocolate. And I go, really? You're addicted? That means you have no control, huh? You know, correct, Jackie? So when they use words like that, I had another client who said, I can bathe in chocolate. And so when we use words like this, I think we'll lose control and power to that very thing. And so that's why I brought Jackie in, because she is the expert on addictions. And instead of me yapping away and talking about behaviors, I thought, why not bring Jackie, who has worked with so many people that she has helped overcome addictions in a lot of areas. So here's her bio. Jackie is a clinical hypnotherapist who specializes in addictions recovery. Whether they're addictions to alcohol, street drugs, pharmaceutical drugs, which is another thing nowadays, or other addictions like gambling, video games. I know someone whose son sits at home and just plays video games. She works typically in Vancouver, Canada, but that doesn't mean that she can't work internationally. Of course she can, because we have Skype and Google Hangouts. But she's also appeared on TV and radio shows and has helped thousands deal with issues relating to addictions recovery. Thank you, Jackie, for agreeing to talk to the viewers on addictions.
Thank you, Zaheen, for having me. I'm really excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here. Okay.
And this is a huge problem, isn't it?
Yeah. Like I think that there are millions of people, and forget about food, but like the way you have helped so many people with gambling. And I know the other day you spoke about drinking issues, right?
Yeah.
Alcohol is such a huge problem, and the way you say that, how you can numb your feelings just with that.
Yeah.
And I don't drink alcohol. But I can see how even food can help with when someone's so busy, when they come home, and I've always heard this, I want to reward myself with food.
Yes.
I get
Correct.
comfort with food.
Yes.
But then it becomes a habit every day because,
Yes.
we are busy,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We are going to keep on getting busier. That's the way life is now.
Yes.
But how do we control that and yet be in control? That's
Yes.
the idea.
Yeah.
Okay, so I do want to I know you know this, but just in case we have some new viewers, I have the book Attract Your Ideal Weight: 8 Secrets of People Who Lose Weight and Keep It Off, and it's not about diet or exercise. It's about behavior weight loss, behavior changes. And I know that when I interviewed, people for this book, Jackie, a lot of them had said that they too had food addictions, but they found a way to overcome that. So tell me, here's the question. Why in the first place do we have food addictions?
Here's why. So first of all, let's talk about what an addiction is. So an addiction is something that we use to numb our pain, right? Whether it's an emotional pain or a physical pain or a mental issue that we're going through. And addiction is something that we say in our mind, oh, I need it, right? So, and so that's what an alcohol addiction is, or addiction to cigarettes is. It's like after 45 minutes, I need that smoke. At 4:30 on my way home from work, I have to go and buy that bottle of wine. That's a need. Now, why food?
Mm.
Fortunately or unfortunately, we all need to eat, right? And we are meant to eat as a human being. We are meant to eat for nutrition. For nutrition, we need food into our body, into our system, to give us the nutrients so that we can have the energy for our cells to rejuvenate. That's the purpose of food. And what happens is when we see, food also has other things, other benefits, right? When we use our five senses, it gives us something. When we see beautiful colors, a beautiful salad, for example, we go, wow, right? When we put that very tasty pizza in our mouth, we go, we're salivating and we're excited. When we are touching food, so it's engaging all of our senses, the seeing, the hearing, the tasting, the feeling. And when it engages that, something happens in the brain, Zahid. It's almost like a switch goes on in the brain, what we call a trigger. When this trigger goes on, it releases chemicals that make us feel good. And as human beings, we are geared to move towards pleasure and away from pain. So a quick example, I've had a whole day of clients or a whole day at work. And then I have a 45-minute commute home. By now, I'm really hungry. I'm pissed off at my boss, right? Really frustrated. And we are triggered to go towards something that we believe gives us pleasure. Now, we are used to what? Going to the fridge, taking 5 steps toward the fridge, opening the fridge, and sticking in whatever makes us feel good. Remember, we are programmed to go towards pleasure and away from pain.
Yeah.
That's why we have addictions to food.
So then, I guess what happens when we go towards these kinds of things, and then, like I say, a lot of my clients or a lot of the people I know that have struggled with weight, they will overindulge,
Yeah.
whether it's food or alcohol.
Yeah.
What makes them want to do that?
So the next aspect of it is, for every action, there's a reaction.
Mm-hmm.
So my action of either having a cigarette or having a glass of wine or having a bag of chips, that's an
Mm-hmm.
action. For every action, there's a reaction. This is really a science.
Right.
So, right, when we overindulge, that reaction is also called a consequence, right? So action, reaction. Another word for reaction is a consequence, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what are the consequences, right?
Right.
Right.
And so when they know that they have these, so okay, do they think about the consequences then, or do they not think about it when it comes to addictions?
Remember, when we are in pain, we are programmed to go towards pleasure, right? When we are, when we see a bus coming towards us, there's a fear, there's pain. What do we do? Do we stop and think? No, we run, right?
Mm-hmm.
We run towards pleasure. We run towards safety. Safety gives us, correct?
Yeah.
Right. So in that moment, we can think.
Ah.
So come Monday evening, when I'm frustrated, I have a glass of wine.
Mm.
Come Tuesday, I have two glasses. 6 months down the road, it's half a bottle, then it's one bottle.
Mm.
Now there are serious consequences. Or, action, reaction, reaction means consequence.
Right. And I'm glad you brought up about the wine part, because I did have someone else that had told me this too, that it seems that every time she goes home, she didn't drink every day,
Yeah.
but she would have a glass one, and then the next day again another glass, and then the next day another glass, and then she tells me it's kind of becoming a habit now. And so, talking about the consequences, what are the consequences?
Well, so we have physical consequences, we have emotional consequences, we have social consequences. So let's talk about the physical consequences. A simple one is I overeat, I feel puffed up in my belly, I can't sleep, right? Other consequences, if I keep on binging, the likelihood of me getting a heart attack, especially if I binge on fatty foods, right? Because there's a lining now which is being formed around the heart, so we have heart disease,
Mm-hmm.
right? Uh, Other problems. We can't digest our food because we are binging and not drinking sufficient water. So we have problems like IBS or other things. If it's alcohol, guess what? We're having the lung cancer or kidney failure, all of those things. Those are the physical consequences, physical problems as a result, right? Emotional issues, depression, right? Social consequences. Now I have put on 80 pounds and I'm feeling embarrassed to even leave my home, right?
Mm.
So as a result, it's like, oh, I won't go out today, and I won't go out today. Before you know, it's weeks and months.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now, since I haven't done it for a while, I'm so
Mm-hmm.
anxious. People call me and say, I struggle with social anxiety.
Mm.
What's that? So these are the consequences.
So then I guess, like any person would, when they hear these
Yes.
consequences, would say, okay, why do I want to continue with these kinds of irrational behaviors of
Yeah.
binging,
Yeah.
of alcohol consumption,
Yeah.
gambling? Like if they gamble, of course, there's empty pockets or empty bank accounts.
Oh, of course.
Why would they continue with that?
Because they have no control. And the reason they have no control is they're going to the wrong person
Mm-hmm.
for help, right?
Ah.
So yeah, they're not going to the right source for help. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's like if I have a pain,
Mm-hmm.
what should I do? I need to go to a physician and check out what's happening, right? So here's where hypnosis and hypnotherapy comes in. And here's where the conscious mind and the subconscious mind comes in, right? The conscious mind has a role, a subconscious mind has a role. They have two different roles, and they don't intersect each other, and they just, play together, but they don't intersect. So one person can't do another person's role. So in a family, for example, if, growing up, the role of my father was to provide. He was the provider. That was his role. My mother's role was to, cook and clean and take care of the kids. So she wasn't the provider because, she didn't have skills to go and get a job. That was my father's role. So each person has a different role, and one cannot do the other person's role. Just not possible. Here's what happens with the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The conscious mind has a role. It analyzes. That's why we call it the analytical mind or the thinking mind. It's processing information, right? Whatever I receive. That's its role. And it's conscious of everything that's happening in the moment, right?
So if I could just stop there.
Yes.
So right now, as I'm, listening to you, that's my conscious mind, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now we are engaging our conscious minds. As we are talking, we are looking, we are thinking, we are processing, we are thinking, how long is this hangout going to be? When is it going to be over? We've, sort of analyzed and planned all those things. But simultaneously, there are things happening at the same time as we are talking. Subconsciously, Zaheen, whether you believe it or not, your heart is beating, and so is mine, right?
That's right.
Our liver is doing something. It's playing a role. Our kidneys are doing something. We're not conscious of it. It's under the conscious awareness. That's why we call it subconscious, right? It's below conscious awareness. So our hearts don't say, hey, for the next 30 minutes, let's stop beating the heart because let's focus on the conscious mind. No, it's doing its stuff. The conscious mind is doing its role, the subconscious mind doing it. Here's where the problem comes in. In our subconscious mind, we store, it's like a hard drive on a computer. In our subconscious mind, we store all of our beliefs, our behaviors, our habits. So if I have a habit of binging and I'm really tired of it, here's the thing, Zaheen. Most of my clients are brilliant people. They are CEOs, they are business owners. Now, to be a business owner, you have to be a brilliant person. And yet, they don't have control. Why? Because they're accessing their conscious mind, their analytical mind. You're saying, today, Friday, today's the last day I'm going to smoke. Today's the last day I'm going to binge on those chips, right? They're not accessing the subconscious mind. I like to call a subconscious mind the bus driver. The bus driver will go wherever it wants. And if you want to go to a certain place, you better be in touch with your subconscious mind, with your bus driver, so that it takes you to the right venue, the right destination. It's really as simple as that.
So then how does hypnosis come into play now with addictions? Knowing now that all our beliefs and behaviors are stored in the subconscious mind, and like the way you mentioned, sometimes we don't even know that we're doing something or that's happening, and that's why I guess people who are, like the way you say, CEOs and but yet they have the behaviors that, like the way you said, get consequences later that are not good for them. So how can we change that? And how does hypnosis come in?
So here's where hypnosis comes in. Hypnosis is just a tool, by the way. Hypnosis doesn't do anything. We make the change, right? Hypnosis is a tool that helps us relax. So
Mm-hmm.
let's go back to the conscious and subconscious mind. So here's the subconscious mind, here's our conscious mind,
Mm-hmm.
right? Our conscious mind is the gatekeeper, not allowing any information to get into the subconscious mind. Now, when we are in the state called hypnosis, which is just a level of trance, we are in hypnosis, throughout the day, in and out, in and out. It's a relaxed state of mind. When we are in that relaxed state, our conscious mind, our analytical mind, thinking mind, what I lovingly like to call our monkey mind, our monkey mind goes for a hike. When that happens, our subconscious mind now is open to accepting any suggestions. Remember, those behaviors and habits are in the subconscious, in this hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
So when conscious mind has gone for a hike, we quickly go to the hard drive. We pull out that behavior, that habit, that belief. We edit it just like we would edit a file on a computer, and we quickly save it before monkey mind comes back.
Oh, that's amazing. I
And this
love the way you
all
explain that.
and this all happens during that process, what we call hypnotherapy.
So
So
I'm just going to, just like, someone out there who must be thinking, but hypnosis, it's kind of scary, and they've kind of seen it, like, people on stage, being hypnotized
yeah,
and doing, different
yeah.
things. How do you explain to people who've never done it that it's safe, that it's
Well,
okay, it's not like you're
first,
going to be on stage?
well, it's safe because it's a natural process. Like I said a few minutes earlier, we are always in that state of hypnosis. So here's what hypnosis is. It's Monday morning. I get into my car. Do the ignition. I drive for 10 miles. I've reached my workplace, and I think, how did I get here in 30 minutes? Right? We were not consciously aware of street number 1, street number 2, street number 3. Are we? No. We go from point A to point B just like that. So what has happened during that time frame? We were in this state. We were in a trance state, what is also known as hypnosis. Now, coming back to stage hypnosis, I like to explain that is those stage hypnotists are using the same principles of giving suggestions. So they will suggest to the person on stage that he will cluck like a chicken or bark like a dog. I suggest to my clients that, hey, you smoked for 40 years, time to give it up. So they are giving them that suggestion for
Mm-hmm.
entertainment. I am giving them a suggestion for therapeutic value so that they can get better, have a healthier life, make more money, whatever it is. So the
Okay.
principle is the same of giving suggestions.
Mm.
And like I said, when you're in that relaxed state, you accept the suggestions. When we are in that state, we press the save button. We edit the file, we press the save button before monkey mind comes back. Right?
Right. And so I like the idea of the way you explain the monkey mind and the subconscious mind being the bus driver.
Correct.
And you're exactly right. When we drive, I
Yeah.
don't remember that, oh, now it's a stop sign, I have to
Yeah.
stop. I just
Yes.
automatically do it
Yes.
because my subconscious mind knows that that's
Yeah.
what you need to do.
Yes. Yeah.
So why can't people, for example,
Yeah.
can't go to conventional therapy, um, or can they by adding on hypnosis? What would you suggest, especially if they want to overcome food addictions?
They can absolutely go for conventional therapy. But again, conventional therapy is accessing the conscious mind, the analytical
Mm.
mind, right? So let's talk about food. They talk a conventional, weight loss situation would talk about diets. That's a big no-no for me. With my clients, as soon as they come to me to release weight, to lose weight, I tell them, get rid of the scale. You don't need the scale. You don't need willpower. Hypnosis is meant to be easy. It's drug-free, and changes happen quickly. Changes happen quickly.
So, give me an example of someone that you helped. Whether it's with food addictions or alcohol or what kind of suggestions did you help them with? And I know that it can be different for everyone because they have addictions for a reason.
Yes.
I'm sure there's a root cause, right?
Yeah. So my recent client she was over 300 pounds. She was about 47. And she was frustrated all her life because she was a big child. She was a big girl growing up, a big teenager, and she's now 47, over 300 pounds. She cried to me on the phone saying, I don't eat and I put on weight. I don't eat and I put on weight. Right? So obviously now it's an emotional. So this was her belief. Because she was growing up and she was the only person in the family who was a big person, the mother, father, the aunts, they were all, slim or whatever. They said to her, it's okay, you'll be fine just the way you are, we love you even if you're big. So what happened is she grew with the belief that I have to be big because no matter what I do, I'm not going to change it. My family will still love me. But as she grew up, she had problems with her relationships and all that because she wasn't happy with the way she looked in the mirror. She even cried to me, Zaheen, and said, she hates to look in the mirror. She hates to look in the mirror. Right? 3 weeks after we started working together, 3 weeks into working together, she lost a few notches. She wore a size, 2 sizes smaller. We didn't discuss food. We didn't discuss anything. We just removed those blocks. Remember, we went to the hard drive when Monkey Mind went for a hike. We changed those beliefs. The beliefs that, I have to be big for the rest of my life. We changed those beliefs. She was down 2 notches on her belt.
So then, did she find that she changed the behaviors that she had before? I mean, I know she said, I don't eat, but yet I gain weight.
Yes.
So I'm sure that the viewers must be thinking, okay, wait a minute. How did that happen?
Well, we did change certain behaviors. So, for example, I teach her some techniques, some breathing techniques. I got her to change her behavior of upping her water, having regular meals, I always tell my clients, you should be eating 10 small meals, and they say, 10 meals? I said 10 small meals. It could be 2 dates, it could be an hour later, it could be 3 or 4, almonds. It could be, half a banana, right? So that our belly is always half full, right? When our tank is half full, we don't have the urge to raid the fridge.
Yeah.
Right.
That's interesting that you say that because in my book I speak about the hunger meter. That you have to learn how to gauge your hunger, whether you're hungry, you're satisfied, full, bloated, and you have to learn that skill. It just doesn't, it takes practice. It took me a while to get into that.
Correct.
And that is the way to do it. I've been having so much fun, listening to you explain about the monkey mind and the bus driver mind. And I'm just going to label them that way because it helps me remember. So tell me, do you have any advice for our audience who are going through food addictions? Like I mentioned, there was this one client who said, I'm addicted to carbohydrates. I'm addicted to, chocolates. And I hear that all the time. What is the one thing they can do to start changing that mindset?
Well, the first thing is make a decision. Make the decision that I want the change. Make the decision that enough is enough and I am worth it, right? If you're not worth it, why would anybody else invest in you? Make the
Yes,
decision to invest in yourself, whether it's the money, whether it's the time and the energy. Right?
yes,
Some
and I
people have
completely
the
agree.
money, yeah, some people have the money to invest, but they think, oh, I'm so busy, I have kids, I don't have the time. Money, time, and energy.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself.
And
And
if
I
you
would,
never do it, you'll never do it.
you'll never do it, you know.
Yeah,
We have one shot at this life, right? Why not make the best of it? And
that's
it
right.
can happen. It can happen, with hypnosis, because hypnosis again is drug free. It's easy and it's quick. Why wouldn't you try it? I say to people, give yourself this gift. It's a
Yeah,
gift that you give to yourself.
yeah. Wow. Oh my God. It's like half an hour is gone, and I learned so much. I mean, I know about hypnosis with
Yes.
my background in
Yeah.
NLP, but
Yeah.
it was really interesting for me to listen to it again with a different view.
Yeah.
And the way you explained it was so simple, and it really made sense. And so, if you're watching this, please make sure that you go on to Jack's website. Like if you feel, or if you say the words, I'm addicted to carbohydrates, I'm addicted to pastries, I'm addicted to chocolate, you know what? That's a sign that, or I'm addicted to alcohol, or I'm addicted to smoke, to gambling, or get help, because I always tell people you can never do it alone. You need the support.
Yes.
And that is so important, that you know that you're not alone here, that
Yeah.
there's so many people out there that can help you and can support you.
Yes.
And Jackie is a, a resource that I found that really helps, people who are going through that. And that's why I brought her in. And she's also agreed, which is very nice of you, Jackie. She's also agreed to give people who watch this video and take my name, that Attract Your Ideal Weight with Zahin Nanji. I saw that video, and if you tell that to her, she is going to offer you a special rate. And that was very nice of her to offer that. So make sure you give her a call, or actually go on her website, which is thepowerwithin.ca. So
Yes.
again, thepowerwithin.ca. And with that, Jackie, I'm sure you can be found on Facebook, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Google Plus.
Yes.
Okay,
And
so,
LinkedIn as well.
and LinkedIn, that's right.
Yes.
So make sure you find her, check her out, follow her, and then go from there. But you've already seen how authentic she is in the way she explains and helps people, and that's why I have people like her who come on who want to help, and it's what they love doing, and you can see that in the way that she discusses things. And I'm sure you've got a lot out of today, and we're kind of running out of time, but Jackie, if you'd like to add anything at the end, go ahead.
I just want to say again, addictions is such a problem, and give yourself this gift. Hey, try it out. The worst that can happen with hypnosis is it'll feel like a mental massage. The best that can happen is it'll change your life. Doesn't get
Oh,
better than that. How
oh,
does
that's
it get
awesome.
better than that?
Yes, and who doesn't want a mental massage? Okay, everyone, thank you so much for watching.
Yeah.
If you want some more information about me, again, you can go on. I've got two websites. What you see here, attractyouриdealweight.com, is based on my book. If you put your email in, you will get this free CD, Fat to Thin, and it's 6 MP3 tracks that you get for free. Or you can go to Zahin Nanji, and my name's right there as well, zahinnanji.com, and it's all about the resilience reflex. And with that, see you later. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.